Hello and welcome to Stories of Faith, Pennies from Heaven. In my last video, I talked about why this is called Pennies from Heaven, so I encourage you to take a look. And as I've been told, I'm supposed to tell you to like and subscribe and share, because if I'm going to get this off the ground, I need the algorithm to work for me, and it really does help. And I'll get better at it as soon as I know that it's worth investing more time and money into it. But I really do think that God can use this channel to help spread God's message of love. So while I'm waiting for some more stories, which, by the way, you can submit to me by emailing me at penniesfromheaven1968@gmail.com and send me your contact information and what your story is about, and I'll see if it can see if I can use it, which I hopefully can. All right, so I want to tell you one more story. This one is a short one, but it's about how I met how I got my wife. I was going to Bible school in Abilene, Texas, and I had been praying for a while that God would lead me to have female companionship and a wife and children one day. And I've been praying since high school, since younger, because I don't know, I guess that was just kind of an ideal I had in mind, that would be the right thing when I grow up. I've got to have a family, And so I've been praying for that, and I was at my parents' house on break between semesters, and I was just lounging around in the living room there, and all of a sudden it was like these voice interrupted my thoughts, and it said, "This is the year you're going to find the woman you'll spend the rest of your life with," just like that. And it was so powerful and so real that I got up, I walked around the corner, and I told my mom, I said, "Look, I think God told me something, and I'm going to tell you what it is now, so that when it happens, you'll know that it was from God, because it was ahead of time." So I told her what I heard the voice say, and then went on about my business and went back to school, carried on as usual. I did my best not to make this happen. Figured if God's going to make it happen, He's going to make it happen. And sure enough, I started going out with this girl. We started getting close, started dating, and feeling like things were getting more serious. And so I figured, well, maybe I should tell her this story. I don't know whether that was very wise or not, because that's the kind of story that would scare off a girl. But I told her anyway. And to my surprise, she said she had a story too. She was not, I don't know, prior, maybe sometime during the semester, she was in her room and she was upset and sad because her friends had gone out on dates and she didn't have one. And I guess she was feeling a little sorry for herself. And she plopped down on her bed, and as she was laying there, she heard a voice that said, "This is the semester. You're going to find the man, you're going to find Mr. Right." So when she told me that, I was just kind of dumbfounded. I said, God has a way of confirming what He says to us. And by the way, you need to be careful about what voices you hear. They really need to be of God. So the Bible says, don't believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they're of God. And I have to tell you this, if you feel hearing a voice every other second, it's probably not God. This doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, when God speaks to you, He's going to speak to you through His Word, through the Scriptures. Sometimes He'll speak like He does that way. Sometimes He'll speak and communicate to you, and you infer it through the situation that you're in. But I do want you to know that when you pray and you believe and you trust God, He hears you. And you need to trust Him.